If you know that Empire is coming from the same avenue every single time on every single site, then Amira gives you a
Okay,
huge
so
advantage over that, right? It does sort of counter Empire's
moving into bank.
unpredictability and aggressive playstyle, despite the fact
Capital
that they are really
gone.
predictable in where they
We've already seen Empire play a little bit of bank already.
Put your hands together, please, as I hear everybody else, whether you're sitting in your bedrooms, on your couches,
Let's just see
wherever you may be,
what
as we
has
now
changed.
have our grand finals ready to begin.
Joystick was running Capital practically every round, so I imagine that he would bring Jackal. I didn't really watch this live, so we'll see what happens here.
He's up there, T1 as smoke players go, sitting with the likes of Bosco in North America, but pushing him onto a clash is going to be an interesting change. This might play into what we were
EG on defense first.
Lack of Amira.
Yeah, Joystick playing Jackal. Dan on the Thatcher. And we've been seeing the same kind of attacks over and over and over again onto a CEO defense. It's basically you have two people out on north repels, and then either three people pushing gold staircase, or one person watching the flank in the main lobby and the other two with the support of the guy on north windows attacking from Skylight. So the positioning of the clash is going to be the most important thing. So let's just see what happens here.
DZ does play a very different style than EG on a lot of occasions. DZ often ends up being
Empire right now just looking for the Valk cam that they know has most likely been thrown out. And Karzeka looking for an early pick on top of the parking garage.
And the one thing that needs to be addressed is that the deeper you go into a tournament, the less time you have to prepare. EG has had maybe...
So they're just preparing the north windows for their inevitable, repels. Karzeka looks like he's going to be watching the flank from main lobby like I was talking about. So he's just droning it out, making sure that nobody's in a weird spot or that there isn't any cameras positioned, while Dan and Shepard and Scyther are going to be pushing square lobby. So instead of having two on the north repels, they're going to have one. Maestro standing at the top of gold, just waiting for the push, but he's on a drone, so if there was anybody repelling on the west, they could take him down pretty quickly, but Karzeka's already in that corner and they know it. Necrox gets the first kill, relieving pressure on north windows. And then Canadian gets killed by Karzeka, who, like I said, is watching the flank. Thank you, baby.
You've also got Geo down below inside of Tellers. He's worked his way
so Geo C4 underneath while Young is holding off the pressure, pushing down this hallway, gives Maestro adequate coverage, and if the Valk cams are positioned properly, Geo could go for a C4 later, so I imagine he's going to end up pushing up server stairs to come up from underneath square. But the wall has been opened up, and I don't think they were really impact tricking it at all. So Dan is trying to push up onto Young, and Young is just pulling back to solidify the defensive hold, because they can't have anybody coming into that janitor closet. Shepard wary of anybody trying to impact trick. Even though he's covered by Karzeka, he's still going to open the wall in a very small area, and obviously NVK has backed off as well, but then he's going to push out and get this kill based on some kind of Valkyrie camera, but Necrox is going to get traded out immediately. So 12 seconds left, and they're going to go for the plant. Geo has flanked, probably back up the main stairs and gotten that kill. And then Young's going to push into the closet, and Karzeka cannot cover that. So they're just going to win the round off of that. So as the pressure from Empire was pushing forward and both the walls are open, EG pulls back because Young can give intel via the shield, and they don't have Zofia in a position to hit him with a concussion, at least not like very easily. And then right here, though, so it's like, yes, Maestro is covering that ATM's doorway. So Karzeka was effectively trapped in that position. That was a nice shot from Dan. But the thing about it is Canadian wanted to kill Karzeka so that he could relieve pressure from the North Repel. But Necrox already killed Joystick off of the North Repel, so Canadian didn't need to go for that. But because of the positioning he was in, he couldn't leave that position. So with this lineup now going into the defense, the castle barricades are the most influential thing here, because there isn't a lot of soft destruction on the side of Empire unless they're going to bring some breaching charges, which I would imagine Dan will bring. They don't need to have 2 claymores. Actually 3, because Zofia will have a claymore as well. And since they know they're not going to attack, since they can assume that they're not going to be attacking archives, they don't need breaching charges on Zofia. But Empire at this point, what they're going to be trying to figure out is how they can circumvent these castles and go around them without having to waste utility opening them. But certain castles are going to have to obviously be opened up, and the long angle being opened up for NVK to deny plant from garage are going to be the key factors in this attack. So it looks like it's going to be a top-down clear, and Empire is pretty good at this. We saw them do it versus Dark Zero. And this is a very similar setup, actually, to the way that Dark Zero is playing. And it actually does look like Karzeka brought breaching charges, so they just, to be safe, didn't know what to bring. Dan is going to collapse onto Canadian as he was trying to get a C4 pick. But it wasn't really effective in terms of wasting time, and he didn't get the pick, so it really didn't matter. And then Joystick's going to get the kill from the top of the staircase, just watching flank as Geo tried to replace Canadian's position. But now with the pulse off the board, that gives Evil Geniuses way less intel than they would have had if Canadian would have been playing inside of gold, which is the typical position we see for pulses. And now that the map has effectively been cleared and the flanks are being watched to make sure that nobody from EG can rotate up, Shepard is going to come in and open up whatever hatches Scyther has left for him to open. So obviously they're going to need to use some of the Hibanas right here, but they still have 2 thermite charges, one for one of the hatches in the office and the other one for the wall over here. But they just want to make sure that server is clear, so they're still going to be wary, and they have plenty of time to do it. And with 1 C4 off the board, they only need to worry about 1 more. Also, opening up this angle, we've been seeing this a lot to deny the C4. So now, at this point, all they need to do is Jackal track either NVK or Necrox to show exactly where his position is, whether it's in red or inside of B-Bomb throwing the smokes from further back, and then go for the plant. So 1 smoke's going to go off, and Joystick's most likely throwing his smokes as well, and unfortunately those concussions work on the opposite side, but lines of sight have already been established, and so now Joystick above the hatch, 3 inside of server, and then 1 watching main stairs flank are the positions that Empire has taken up. And they definitely have this round in the bag. Necrox doesn't really have much he can do. He's already used his smokes, and so Empire will just win that round handedly.
Beautiful start there on that round for Empire, getting those 2 picks. They follow it up with just 2 more, and then it's all up to Necrox.
If my chewing is annoying, let me know, because this is my dinner, meaning a late dinner.
Doesn't get worse than that. Again, the Jackal, such an important influence in that round. It
This is really good.
Allow for Dan to get the kill in Archives that you just saw. Joystick follows it up with his own kill, cutting off the rotation there from Geo, and then it just all went downhill for EG from there. So, great job to Empire. Really precise. They knew how to pick apart that basement. Now, EG tried their best to have
the only thing to take away from that round, that EG could have changed, is have somebody besides Canadian somebody besides Canadian playing inside or upstairs. So like maybe Mute plays up there instead, and Canadian still plays in gold to give intel into server. But now with Cade being brought and no Castle, they're going to be playing much more safe down below. And I just want to see if Gio's actually going to be roaming or not, but it looks like he's trying to make his way downstairs, but at the same time trying to find as many drones as possible. He still has 2 cameras, so I imagine that one's going to go in main stairs. It's actually a really good camera. And the last one will most likely go into garage if they're not going to have anybody watch it immediately, or in server or in CC. All these are good spots they could put it in. And Empire's just going to keep going with this top-down clear.
Yeah, I think it's his contributions on the side of everybody else, to be honest.
And just so you guys know, the idea behind the top-down clear is that you have one person on each skylight above the 2 staircases, and then 2 people pushing CEO and 1 person droning. This way, what that does is it cuts off anybody if they try to go to either skylight staircase, and if anybody's trying to run up gold, like or run down gold to rotate back, they're gonna get caught. So it's a really effective clear. Joystick is going to track Gio's footprints and know that he's downstairs, but that's really not that big a deal. So like in a scenario like this, Jackal isn't as effective until the execute at the end of the round, and Karzeka just gets NVK peeking out unnecessarily. But Necrox on the stairs, like, yeah, he's going to use his smokes earlier in the round, but he's hoping to eat up enough time on Empire's side to make it so that he cannot, or to make it so they just don't have enough time to open the wall and go for the plan immediately. If they have like 30 seconds left, then EG's done a good job. Young's actually going to get that kill from really far back, so that was great. I think he was inside of CC actually, and Necrox is still on the main stairs, or on the server stairs, I mean. But the idea there was that Karzeka could come from below, and now the defenders are rotating around, so Canadian looks like now he's in server trying to give intel for Necrox, but Joystick is sneaking his way into garage. So that's like, this is the big play right here. If he can make it into garage, which he has, and he got that kill into Young, so that relieves some pressure. Necrox gets taken down as well, and now it's all up to Gio. And unfortunately, nobody must have been on that Valk cam to give that call out to Young, because they definitely needed to be watching there. And Gio has to try to challenge Joystick, but he can't because Joystick's watching the crossfire. And he actually almost gets him, but then Scyther just pushes off of the shots. He hears the shots being taken, so he knows Gio might reload, and then he just pushes while the plant's going down.
Well, okay. So, Empire.
But Karzeka coming from server was the right thing to do. But obviously, like, they're trying to give Necrox as much support as possible on the staircase. So they have to be watching that. But there's so many angles that they have to watch. They're just unable to clean it up.
So Evil Geniuses, when they eventually do go back downstairs, are going to need to try something different. But for now, I'm going to go to CEO. It's probably the right call. As Basement just has worked.
So now,
CEO just opened up.
Back up to CEO where they were successful before, and the same operator lineup being brought. So I just want to see if there's any difference in the way that either Empire attack or the way that EG defends, and I doubt there will be. EG's probably going to defend the same way with Young in the closet, Necrox playing by B-Bomb, NVK playing the hallway near the elevator, Canadian roaming below with Gio's cameras to help him.
Main lobby stairs by Banana. That is a very aggressive position to play, and it's NVK relying on his absolutely insane aim that made him such a big, household name in North America at the very beginning, and, he still has to this day. And it worked out for him then, but can it work out for him consistently, or will he
Looks
be
like the
consistent?
positions are
I
a
mean,
little
I'm
different.
confident in the way that
At least
Empire
to
were able
start.
to push
That's
this
probably
away
just the
last time
timing of the
on
setup,
C.
though, is that they
Because of
have
this,
to
I don't know how
get
much
to
of an answer
safe
they're going to have for that
positions
clash.
so that they can get on cams and
Correct me
gather
if I'm
the
wrong,
intel that they
but it was a
want.
6th pick from the clash on the very first round.
Um,
So you might not have had the best tools available, and you might have them at your
so
disposal now.
already we're seeing a little
That's
bit of
why
a
we saw
difference. We are
Karzeka
seeing
boost.
Karzeka
If you
and
recall, he was
Joystick on the
basically
north
hanging out in
windows
the
immediately,
lobby with NVK, just shooting the breeze
and
until
we're gonna
he got
actually see
recalled over to
Scyther
the
watching
window
the flank
to
in the lobby.
possibly deal with the shield that was playing inside of the supply closet.
But Joystick
He
wants to
wasn't really
find
able to do
footprints
all that much with it, and
from
well,
the windows,
who knows exactly what he's going
which
to
if
accomplish.
EG's smart, they won't
Joystick,
have
he wasn't
actually
really
moved
present in
into a
that very
position to
first round due
give
to
that
an early death. He's now going to be
intel
positioned on the
away.
windows that Karzeka had taken up home on, and he's just going to drone on in. He'll determine that A is essentially vacant.
So
There's nobody in there. And if
okay,
Nebrox isn't
so
watching,
already we have a couple operators changing positions. So instead of Karzeka watching the flank to where it basically nullifies his utility and makes it useless, it's like, yeah, you can take out a Maestro Cam maybe, but Scyther watching the flank is the better choice. And I like that mainly because they know that they're up against the Clash again. So if they need to push the Clash, they can concussion and try to kill Young.
this
But that's
could
the only change
possibly
that I've
be
seen
a
so
position for
far that
Joystick to
really
just repel on in.
means anything.
But
But it is
Nebrox will
better
spot the
to
drone, and Joystick will go
have
back
that
on in and
utilization
focus
of
playing
utility
around it.
and that those
Nobody's
footprints
really
are
there to
just
do
out
all
of
that
range.
much.
So
One of
that's
the
good,
CEO
you know,
walls will be
rotation
taken out, and
from
Empire will continue their pace
from
that they've
EG.
set up over on the east side by the Skylight stairwell.
At this point,
Well, Empire have so much
EG just need to
control. It's
wait
actually pretty impressive the amount
and
that
see
they've been able
what
to chew away
Empire
at
actually
Geniuses
do,
without any
try to
punishment.
expose
The
themselves,
big takeaway for me is how well Empire
and
have adjusted
then Canadian
into
and
a
Geo
CEO
can
take.
go
And
for a
of course,
flank.
that was their intention the last time they came here, but they were also
At some point,
distracted
Karzeka is going to have to get inside the
that
building,
factor
though.
EMP coordination
So that's
with
one
Joystick
Maestro
was
Cam gone.
beautiful, by the way. You gotta commend the
And then a
team.
jump out from
Necrox with the
Necrox to
run
get
out,
one.
and he actually might
But
be able to
can
get back.
Karzeka
Very
actually pick him
unlikely.
off?
Dan
But
shuts it
Dan's
down.
actually going to be the one to
Beautiful
take
job
him
there
out
from Dan, and
from one of the
I think
windows,
for
I'm
Necrox, that
assuming,
was worth
up
it
in
because he shut down the
Square.
north window presence.
Also
So
doing
Geo
some
and
smokes for
Canadian are trying to
Empire, which
converge
means
on
that
Square
the
right
take
now.
on CEO is going to be a little bit more
And
difficult now. You
a
see
wasted
a wasted
C4 from
C4
Geo,
go off, but
unfortunately. It's
isolated because
probably
there was
just, you
nobody
know,
even in the area
bad
anymore.
timing on
So
the
Geo
call out, or
just
Geo is
shoots
hearing
his
the
shot a
footprints
little
above
bit
him and
too
not quite
early on.
pinpointing exactly
Instead,
where
he'll
they
go
are.
over to the windows and
But
look to
now
get
that
upside down now, trying to catch
but now
somebody
that
in his line of sight by the double
Joystick
windows,
is
and just a
gone,
long
Scyther
vision
goes
from
on the
CEO,
rappel
which
here,
is
and I
still for the
kind of
moment
don't like that
completely vacant.
rotation of
With
position
nobody
because
playing inside of
I
A,
doubt
Empire
that
can
anybody's
rotate
really
if need
watching
be.
his run out,
He's
but
going
they
to
do
watch
have it
to
on a
see as
drone.
Dan
But
is
even
going to
if
press on
someone
up
runs in
the
and they,
janitorial, an EMP will
you
go
know,
off,
get
but
the
looks
call
like
out,
they're going to
oh,
be able
you
to
know,
find
he's coming to
Canadian. So
flank you
Young's
from
not really
main
in a
lobby,
position to slow him down with the
it's
taser either.
definitely going to be
Canadian
difficult
waiting
to
just at the top of the stairs
win
to
that
possibly
gunfight
dive on
regardless.
Dan, but he's not there for the time being. Plant going down from Shepard, and if nobody gets this, well, it could be
So,
problematic. Canadian cuts off the head of Dan, and now down below, Geo cuts through Garseka. And while
all
the
right.
diffuser goes down, there goes Shepard as well. It's going to be all Scyther.
Yeah, now it's all
upside down.
Scyther.
He spots the Maestro and takes one body out in a 1v2. He's playing the rappel, and this is a possibility that Empire could hold on. It's going to be very difficult. And if they are not really wise to him, well, there he goes, but no, Geo.
All right, so with the C4 expended already, like Geo already threw his C4, Karzeka doesn't need to go for that. I understand that he's watching the flank, but he doesn't need to go for that kill. He can just wait. So that was a little bit of a misplay there. But otherwise, EG played it right. And VK might have jumped out a little bit too early, thinking he could just get the kill immediately on the guy on the north windows because they know he's the last one. But coordinating with the defuse and a jump out at the same time was the right way to do it. And I think it would have been really difficult for Scyther to actually win or figure out where Canadian was diffusing from unless they had a drone on it.
CEO definitely somewhere where Evil Genius is very comfortable. Basement somewhere that Empire have picked apart piece by piece. This north window run out from Evil Geniuses, great adaptation. I have to say, they committed fully to it, and that's the beautiful thing. Because it was a change from Empire, where Empire shifted away from a lobby focus because they realized it wasn't working, into a skylight take. Because they figure, hey, let's go with what works, what's typical, what's common, what we know we can, Russian machine doesn't break sort of strategy. And it ended up
What's happening here? Did I pause it?
what we
try refreshing.
Them because EG adapted on top of that.
As well, I would imagine that you don't save it for the side switch because you're more worried about going down into a possible 4-2 split. EG's been successful on the CEO site, but they have struggled on the Locker CCTV site, which is where we are going to go for round 5. And
all right, so
if EG can't make
it's all tied up.
You know, the basement, because that seems to be where they want to make their stand. Then it's gonna be really difficult for EG when they go to the.
And it looks like we're gonna see another downstairs hold.
I think EG's a little bit more worried
So
about the immediate.
the things that EG needed to correct were making sure that someone's on that camera that's inside a garage to know when joystick's flanking, because it's inevitable. Like, it's just part of the general attack, to give the attackers another angle to push through instead of all from the northeast through server.
And we actually have seen teams forego using a tactical timeout for the entirety of a map. Each team gets one.
But I imagine they're just going to do another excuse me, another top-down clear.
Yeah, it's good timing. You know, can build up some momentum.
And I do like the way that Empire spread out here. A few of them kind of drone for themselves here and there.
Because of this, if you're beating your opponent senseless, why take it?
Right.
When your opponents will be given an opportunity to breathe.
But for Evil Geniuses, this is a good time. They need to figure out basement. That's really what's going on here. And hopefully, if you're an EG fan, they have. Canadian playing much safer with the pulse. I like seeing this. He did play safer earlier the last time they were here.
As you can see, Canadian is playing much more reserved than he was before.
There was no trade potential. They were all playing in silos. You know, you saw, what was it? Both Geo and Canadian in positions where no.
I imagine that he will actually play gold this time as opposed to rotating into server to try to help Necrox and stuff like that, because a minute and a half has already been expended. If Evil Geniuses can hold off server for another 30 seconds or so, you know, then they've got the round in the bag. And MVK getting that pick is huge, especially in this scenario. Now it's all up to Necrox to just stay alive for as long as he can.
Really shouldn't win, and the fact that MVK did against someone like Milan, who has just been proving himself time and time again, is impressive. Scyther trying to clear the barbed wire using these flashes. He's got to know that his opponent is flashed right now, but the gas canisters keep repelling him. This is beautiful play from Necrox.
Necrox has used all the canisters, though.
He puts another piece of barbed wire. That's the crazy thing. That he has the confidence to do that is huge. And MVK gave it up as well just to keep a body alive. So he's probably going to be watching the red drop, but he's actually going to be playing inside of, you know, red itself, which I don't really agree with. So yeah, as long as Necrox is on that main stairs camera, since they have one in garage playing in there, EG should be able to hold this. And so, okay, so right there, the Valcam that we saw a few rounds ago, because it didn't get destroyed, it's probably the exact same one that's still there. So when they see Joystick run away, they're like, Geo, go for a flank right now. But unfortunately for them, all Joystick's doing is going over to throw a smoke and come back, and he catches Geo running up. But then it is traded out by NVK. So, you know, it ends up working. Canadian from gold throws the C4 and then re-peeks into the hallway. Oh, that was so close. It was a very close round. Because all NVK needed to do was wait. But if he dropped the hatch, he made it that much more risky, per se. But, I mean, the round was over anyway. He just didn't need to drop there. This is good.
Why drop through the hatch at that point?
God, my girlfriend makes such
until
good
you
food.
know that the timer is indisputably at 0 and then drop because Shepard doesn't have the ability to fall off the plant.
Yeah.
Because the clock is 0 and Empire lose.
Let's just skip forward a little bit.
Risk to peek the
So,
and take Dan out of action,
Archives Teller's defense
a lot of people would say, don't peek the hatch.
with a with a hold on the upstairs can work because you can make holes that watch the each of the doorways coming from main lobby and holes that watch the window and the doorway coming from skylight. So it can work, but the tricky part is what happens if Empire takes control of CEO. You've opened up all these holes for them that you have to play against. The counter for that in this ideal positioning is that Canadian can get a C4 on somebody if they get into CEO, or can at least pinpoint using his scanner where the attackers are coming from so that the defenders upstairs can get prepared. So these so like Karzeka and Joystick right now on the north repels are getting called out by Canadian. There's no way that they're not. Yeah. So 1 and 2. So he's calling them out. That's going to prompt the rest of the team to say to themselves, all right, we've got 2 on the north repel. Where are the rest? And they spotted NVK in the top elevator before, but he can impact for himself and get out of there. So it's not that big a deal. But now that they have top control, and they're actually going to be tracking Jaeger, where is Geo playing on Jaeger? Most likely on some kind of a flank.
Look at the breaching rounds that are being, or the breaching charges that are being brought. You got both Dan and Karzeka running them, so you have 6 opportunities to remove some protection from your defenders. You've also got a set of smokes that Joystick. And
now Joystick is looking for anybody that he can through the floor, but Necrox is actually just going to shut him down real fast, which is fantastic. Great play from him. And he's doing a good job of staying alive in the site while the pressure's going on. Even though he gets taken down now, he took out the 2 smokes on the side of Empire for their execute. And then, you know, by the same token, they took out the plant denial from Necrox, so it's actually an effectively good trade. So, at this point, with the way that they're positioned, Shepard and Scyther either want to open the wall or just go through the doorways and try to get a plant down. Karzeka is still above, and Dan needs to rotate to watch the main lobby flank. Because right now he's just above Skylight trying to watch Karzeka's flank, but with 30 seconds left, he needs to rotate around and watch the flank coming from elevators. But he could potentially play on main stairs too, so it's... You know, there's a couple positions he can play, but he needs to rotate to the right spot, and it's most likely going to just be inside of the main lobby, because Scyther's going to get killed from the bottom of main stairs as soon as he runs into the site. Or at least take some damage. I shouldn't say he's just going to die, but, you know. So nice, Scyther gets 1 kill. Karzeka gets another from above as Canadian tries to rotate, and now Scyther's actually in, and Shepard can go for the plant. But Scyther does get killed from the staircase, or at least the hallway instead. And now it's 2v1, and they just have to figure out where he is. So, EG was able to waste enough time, then they collapsed from multiple angles, and traded out efficiently. So Geo killed Karzeka upstairs coming up from server as Karzeka tried to rotate out. And then NVK got the kill on Scyther from the bottom of main stairs. Canadian died in sight, Necrox died in sight, and I don't know where Young was, but he was most likely in sight and got killed as well. That's a great shot. So yeah, Young. Oh no, that was Necrox. Scyther killed Young in sight. That's right. Scyther got killed, and then Karzeka was killing the ones trying to rotate through the floor in the holes that I was talking about earlier.
Yes, indeed. Interesting.
And then Scyther just walked into that. It's unfortunate.
Leading towards the softest
Oh no, NVK killed Karzega rotating. Okay. I thought Geo got him.
Downstairs to Cash and CCTV is about as ordinary as it's going to get for these two teams.
So this is the switch. Now Empire's on defense. And I'm interested to see how their defense differs from EG's. EG obviously had Smoke playing on the server stairs, but it looks like Dan is going to be playing on the server stairs, which I think is probably the better choice.
Yeah, Empire are, I think a team that
But who don't Empire have that EG had before? Valkyrie. So they're not going to have the Valk cams that EG had.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
But the trade-off there is that they're going to have the ability to potentially hold server more efficiently, because the shield that Dan has placed there is a shield that forces you to vault. You can't run past it, even though it looks like it. But EG is going to be taking the same way from above.
I don't know if EG are actually going to fall for that same trap, because we saw when we saw the last time that Empire played on a similar situation where they just held the stairs and it was a struggle for someone to deal with it.
So now they're going to know that open's clear, and they're going to go to open the hatches. Young is still on Thermite. 2 hard breachers generally taken when you're attacking downstairs. Let's just see what their positioning is like.
You don't necessarily need the Hibana Thermite combo. You can run a Maverick. Usually we'll see one of the hard breachers.
Okay, so Young's going to open up the elevator hatch and maybe the vault hatch. This does 2 things. The first thing that this does is it prevents EG from being able to open the wall, but potentially the call that is being made to open these hatches is because that wall in server that Thermite would normally open to go for the backwards plant is soft. So we're going to see that later in the round if that comes into play. The other reason is if EG open these hatches, and what it forces Empire to do is they have to move a body to watch those hatches. They have to move one either into the vault or into the elevator itself to watch and wait for the drop down. Because with the timing of a drop from one of these hatches, you can't have the people in red just have like kill holes facing the back. Like, yeah, you can, but those kill holes will work against you, because once the push actually comes from EG with the timing that happens at the pro level, they will most likely drop and see Smoke or Maestro or somebody with their back to them and just shoot them in the back, relieving Red Hall of any defensive presence.
Might be a Lockers take.
It could be. I think EG are just trying to open up their options because they realize that there's somebody holding that server stairs and they don't want to contest it directly.
So what I really want to see at this point is
they have a lot of options. That's the beauty of it.
Who on Empire is going to rotate into the vault, and what space were they occupying previously?
Pounce from anywhere.
Lots of soft destruction too. Canadian on the Zofia has the breaching charges available.
So EG's reluctantly coming to the conclusion that they might have to push the server stairs, but they don't want to. But they're taking it very, very slow because they have plenty of time. Okay, so NVK kills Shepard, taking control of Garage, and now they can effectively push Garage, and NVK is going to pick up the kill onto Joystick. So now that they have this angle that NVK takes right there, so this angle that NVK is holding in the back of Garage cuts the site in half. I've mentioned that before. So now anybody that's server side has to rotate in front of NVK's line of fire, unless they want to run all the way through the vault. Pulse, we saw, was watching the vault drop, and that removed him from watching gold. But at the same time, Dan is still alive, so they know that they don't need to worry about server stairs per se. But that was the rotation that Empire decided to employ. And now Karzeka has to take this very long-range engagement, ill-advised, mind you, and Dan doesn't have any long-range capabilities either. So what EG has done here is force the engagements to be longer, giving them more of an advantage and effectively removing Dan from the fight, which is smart. And now, as they have to inevitably take these engagements that are unfavorable to them, they just lose each engagement. So, really smart from EG to recognize and remove Dan from the fight by just creating, by one, attacking from the other side, but attacking from the other side in a way that gave them favorable engagements.
I think that coastline match always gives the worst kind of flash.
I'm just trying to skip past some of this because we got 3 maps to go over.
If they lose Oregon, well, then
so, you know.
Perfect game. Right, and they just want to play. They want to stay in that. They want to.
I'm probably skipping too far ahead right now. Yeah, a little bit too far.
Necrox is hot on his.
They had their Ella in server stairs, I think, at the last minute of the round when they'd already lost
okay,
2,
so
3 players at that point.
Dan has switched to Valkyrie.
Basically negated an entire operator.
Yeah.
And this is the exact lineup that EG had when they were defending downstairs. So now they obviously want to try to go for some kind of flank as long as they have information on the main stairs, because it's the main like flanking rotation. So we'll just see how Empire play this differently. And Joystick's right now actually like roaming and looking around. This is so this must be such a frustrating fight for Canadian, because he hears Joystick running all around him, but just can't pinpoint his exact location. And so right now already, if you want to talk about the positioning of the attackers, so we saw NVK repelled out on the west. Necrox is pushing in, but you don't want Necrox pushing. He still has to use his Ibanez to open the hatches. So you'd preferably have Geo pushing, and definitely not Young because he has the diffuser. But Joystick's already done his job here. Joystick has already given his team a huge advantage, and are going to be wasting a ton of EG's time as they try to push forward. The problem here for EG is that NVK cannot get off of this repel, because he needs to pin Joystick down, which he's doing effectively. He's vulnerable, but he's effectively doing what he's supposed to do. And you don't want Necrox to be pushing, but, you know, someone has to push him. So now Young or Geo are going to have droned him out if they had a drone pre-placed and ready to go. And now Joystick is wasting so much time, but Necrox ends up taking him out. So they still have a minute, and as long as none of the other defenders have rotated upstairs, they're fine. Empire could have used that opportunity via Valk cameras to determine that they could rotate up, but they decided not to, which is fine. They don't have to. They wasted a ton of time. They still have to open everything, then drone it, and then go for the push. So an evaluation of the defense is going to have to come out quickly from EG if they want to win the round. They just need to drone out server and see if it's clear. If server's clear, they push server. But the drone got shot, so they don't really have that much intel going off of it. So NVK's waiting. So because they don't know if anyone's in server, NVK has to wait above the hatch, obviously for a multitude of reasons, but mainly he needs to stop anybody who's trying to rotate from server back to the site to kill them to get that trade. He has to. But he's obviously going to be using his Thatchers to give Necrox the ability to throw flashbangs down the hatch so that he can drop and disorient those inside of B-Bomb. But now they're all going to drop. And Shepard inside a garage is like the big factor here.
It's going to be two members of Empire, but there's only 2 seconds. Where are they? There's no plant. Young is going to have to go down, and this is a loss for EG. No opportunity. He's going to fall off.
They couldn't do anything. What's up, Sternab? How's it going?
As all of his teammates died around him.
Let's just skip forward to the next round.
Especially on the side of Team Empire. Team Empire like to allow themselves.
So this is a CEO attack. We're seeing the same things that I've talked about before. 2 people on the north, 1 watching the flank. And then Gio's actually going to bring Nomad here, which is good because he's going to come from Skylight or wherever he sees fit and places Nomads in a position to where they cannot get flanked. But Necrox is watching Canadians flank from inside of ATMs like we saw Karzeka and Scyther doing before. And then with that pressure established on the north windows, it locks down the defenders. So now Young's going to go for the wall. Joystick is waiting on the flank. And I believe he gives away his position here and ends up dying. But this is a slightly different positioning than we saw out of Empire when they were attacking. I don't think they've been uploaded to YouTube yet, Sternab, so I just use the Twitch feed.
Joystick from below takes down Young. Not enough flank watch on the basement. And Evil Geniuses.
But yeah, Young gets taken out, and now Gio's like, oh, I should have put a Nomad there. That's sort of like a position that I feel like there should have been one already. But, you know, he's probably watching something else, droning, giving callouts to his other teammates. He's just preoccupied with other things. So now NVK rotates off of the window watch that he was kind of doing before. And he and Gio can push because Young did open up one of the walls, but there has to be Nomads placed on the flank appropriately. And Canadian practically has to watch, or excuse me, not Canadian. Necrox has to get involved in the fight, which now he's rotating over to the north windows to do that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to keep it here. I'll know for future reference, Sternab, thanks. I just didn't want to have to struggle to look for it. But now Necrox and MVK both pick up kills, and they can go for the plant. But it's too late now.
In the worst position that you can find yourself here on Bank. It's a death trap. You're going to have to swing on in.
Yeah.
It's a joint effort from Empire. After this tactical timeout, Empire have seemingly found the magic formula.
So what we keep seeing out of one thing that obviously Empire is really good at on the side of Joystick is flanking and getting those early picks on the attackers as they push in, just because he's a force to be reckoned with on his own. But
now, it is a teller's defense here, which means you're going to have a heavy
EG are just having trouble in terms of their droning and information gathering. Because it's like, if they would have watched the match that Dark Zero had versus Empire, which I'm sure they did, they would know where Joystick tries to flank from. They would know where those Nomads need to go. And I mean, who knows? Maybe Joystick shot the Nomad that they placed before and, you know, just had a great shot. But personally, there should have already been a Nomad on that spot because that's the only place that anybody can really come from unless they're already in open area or kitchen, which I'm assuming has been pre-droned out in the prep phase.
The last time and the only time that we've seen Tellers be defended was Evil Geniuses in round number 6, and basically the way that they played it was
so
up on that second floor, but they peeled off early. Very early, actually. It was, I think, about 50.
EG want to take control of CEO, so we're seeing a very similar setup. Necrox watching Canadians flank, 2 pushing Skylight, and then Gio's positioning is honestly a mystery to me right now. Yeah, Sternab, I think that they're effective as long as you can hear the sound cue and accurately tell which Nomads are getting set off. But yeah, you do kind of place them and forget about them. It is kind of that sort of utility. But no matter what, Nomads are always... The air jabs are always a good way to watch your flank. So Ooh, that was close. So they're going off Valcam callouts to try to get early picks here. And now that they have upstairs control effectively, they want to try to clear out open area or at least gain control of any positions that they're unaware of. This nade from Canadian, I feel like, was good in a way, but you know, he didn't have anyone watching and ready for the push out from the elevator, at least not from the side of open area, because Necrox could have potentially gotten that pick. But now, all right, I'm gonna evaluate these positions real quick and just see how EG put together this attack, because they're running out of time.
There goes another. So he's got 17 seconds and 1 left. All right, I can deal with that.
All right, so Canadians upstairs breaking the floor, but this teller's wall towards the elevators is open. Smoke is playing it. Castle's watching his flank from inside of open, and he can also watch the hallway to help him. And then this door over here is still castled. So unless Necrox is going to come over here and put a breach on it while NVK watches towards elevators, they're not getting into sight because Young's already used both of his exothermic charges on the hatch to open area and the wall up top. So this looks like Empire should win this round based on their positioning because they have, like I said, Castle and Smoke playing over by elevators and open area. Cade is just in sight, keeping everything closed that he can get closed in case of Hibana's coming out from practically nowhere. And then Joystick is still alive on server stairs. So they're spread out in a way to prevent the attack from any direction.
That timing. Dan will see what shelter above him slowly disappear as Young is.
But as the plant's going down, where is it going down?
But Empire might not be aware of where the position is. Joystick falls to Canadian and Young will get the
okay, so he snuck into sight, and because Joystick was dead, no one was able to rotate. Because that rotational, it's good, and it, you know, is actually a really good spot to have, but it worked against Empire in this scenario. So now, in this retake scenario, alright, so in this retake scenario, you have Dan and Karzeka have established where the bomb is. They know one's at Skylight, and then Shepard's coming up from server stairs. So, Canadian is still above, or at least he should be, while Necrox was main lobby. So Necrox is the one that either has to push into the other site, like from the main lobby, to flank them, and Geo needs to watch Canadian's flank because Canadian's going to be the primary one to actually watch the diffuser when it all is said and done. But Geo is up in Skylight. So let's see how Empire try to retake the upstairs so they can defuse. Okay, so Dan pushes up. I remember this round. This round was crazy. Dan just completely decimated everyone because Necrox wanted to come upstairs too, and then Dan just guns them all down. But Canadian was trying to watch the diffuser like I was talking about. So, you know, they have to leave one person downstairs to actually go for the defuse when it starts becoming time, and then the other two go for the kills and try to prevent the attackers from killing the one defusing. So Dan just went in that round. That retake is all on Dan.
They shouldn't have lost. They had that.
Yeah, Dan just went in and gave him the old slapperoonie. He's I'm gonna take this pistol out that's super inaccurate, but get the kill anyway.
And I would imagine that the performance that we have seen in Milan so far is endearing quite a lot of people to Empire, or endearing Empire to them. I agree.
So once again, downstairs. Shepard most likely going to be playing inside of Garage like we've been seeing. A nice Valk cam actually to watch Garage. I don't think anybody would check inside one of the cars. This is a good idea for a cam too, but I liked Geo's better personally. That camera I don't think is really that important. They can give a lot of sound cues, but if someone's just alt walking down the stairs, like unless they hit the barbed wire, it's not going to really give much of a cue. Okay.
The first time it was, I believe, from Evil Geniuses a locker take, which is a little.
So this is the same. We're seeing the same thing.
Take, though. I believe the second time they lost it because of Joystick's amazing roam on CEO, and Canadian got shut
Once
down.
they
Time wasted by
establish
Empire
each
and
staircase,
specifically
open the hatches. I'm interested to see if they keep going for the Vault and Teller's hatches, or if Empire have ended up reinforcing the server wall and just seeing, you know, forcing EG to then open it with the Thermite.
He's been able to grab 2 of those hatches. You got Soft Destruction 2 for EG in a lineup that has become all too familiar for them over the last couple rounds. Not a lot of variation, you don't really need it, I suppose. But it does appear that this change, with the way that the attack is going to happen...
Yeah, so with this wall reinforced the way that it is, Young wants to use his Thermite charges on this instead, and since they don't have anybody playing inside of server, they're just gonna not even open the hatch and go for it. But opening up this wall to face towards Red Hallway, like I said before, is just to make sure they can shoot anybody trying to throw a C4 or a smoke, maybe get it like a lucky pick. Not a lucky pick, like just an easy kill from it. But MVK playing above the hatches, getting rid of that Maestro, that's good. Canadians trying to get rid of this other Maestro, which he does very effectively, using the Twitch drone, and gets rid of an ADS as well. So Young will still have his flashbangs in the post plant. Geo gets 1 kill from the red hatch. Oh, I remember this round. So Geo throws 2 nades down towards red since NVK got rid of the ADSs and ends up getting 2 kills, I'm pretty sure. So now they're timing the other nade with the plant push. But it didn't work because the smoke went off. And now 1 smoke left at most. And NVK's watching the long angle. Now that the long angle's dead, Young can go for the plant. The C4's already has not been expended, but they're just pushing in. Once the Maestro cams are gone, it's hard for Empire to have any intel as to actually what's going on other than sound cues, and there's probably so much action going on and so many callouts being given that there's no way they would even know that he dropped.
They will be able to find him or not. There'll actually be 2 there, Joystick engaging, but expecting a push from inside of open area. He's going to have to look left and look right. I believe they call this the Kansas City Shuffle. It's when you look left, they go right. That's a beautiful shot from Joystick.
So that was well played by EG. Mainly by Geo getting that first nade. That first nade that killed Valkyrie and downed Pulse. That's pretty much when EG won the round. That in conjunction with the Maestro cameras getting removed and NVK thatchering the ADSs. Just basically, EG won the round off of good use of utility and playing in positions that are common. They didn't come from an angle that was ridiculous. They didn't, you know, open up any extra angles that they needed to. They opened up exactly what they needed to and used their equipment the way it was supposed to, and then they won the round because of it.
If I recall correctly, it was when undetected downstairs. He's been doing a number of times here on defense. Got a pick from, I believe, the top of.
But I imagine that if Capital was on the board, they still would have played it the exact same way.
Pressure on him this time to do the exact same thing as Michael. Canadian is reunited with Ash. Is that a break case in case of emergency sort of deal? Break glass in case of emergency?
No, I wouldn't say so. Canadian, a reliable Ash player. He's just going to have to rotate onto it. I think just he wants to win gunfights. I mean, we talked about it I just talked about it. The way that Evil Geniuses lost the last time they were here was they were losing a lot of gunfights. I feel like Canadian on Ash, yeah, that's a fearsome duo. And if he plays it right, it might be all that his team needs to take this round.
See if there's any ADSs inside of CEO.
I'm not liking the way the Empire's setting up for this defense. I'm really not liking it.
Just lying underneath the castle, Barricade and Joystick and Shepard are inside of the peripherals, or the peripheries rather, inside of conference as well as janitorial. Young was the very first pick. He was taken out early on.
They're not in position to impact Trick. Which how could you be when Canadian's on the window? I'm just making an observation.
Over top of the left panel happens to be a lot of soft destruction that was caused by the defenders that might be indicative of a possible impact trick.
Like I just don't see the potential of the defense to actually net a good retake. Like, it's like, it's almost like they're just sort of relying on winning gunfights. And as long as EG replace somebody on the north windows that Canadian was playing at, then they're not hurt by that jump out. That's actually the trade that they want. They want joystick off so that they know that there's no flank coming. Like, Empire is just so condensed onto the site with lack of utility. And as you can see, it's just an absolute slaughter. They just didn't set up necessarily the best way that they possibly could have. And unfortunately, Karzeka can't get that second kill. If he would have gotten that second kill, maybe. Definitely if he would have stopped the plant, he has a way better chance. But there's no way now. They have no intel. He has no intel to help him. So, you know. It's definitely not where he wants to be. Yeah. So let's move into Oregon, and this is where it gets interesting. Come on, let's start the map. All right, here we go. So, upstairs defense from Empire, EG taking from Tower, which seems to just be the way that everyone attacks on Oregon now, no matter where they're attacking, unless they're attacking the tower itself. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Like, this map is already so simple, like, and then every team is just using the most simple strat that they possibly can. So Joystick should have been dead there. But now is EG rotating around? What's happening?
And it's been absolutely fantastic for these finals, as is deserving for these teams.
You know what it is? Okay, I see what's happening now. So,
looks like they're gonna be setting.
So EG thought that Empire was going to go downstairs. That's the idea behind the glass and the IQ for the Echo. But the problem, because you don't need as much like hard destruction when you're attacking downstairs from behind, because you just need to open blue and open one of the hatches. So they're rotating for a master push now, or some kind of pseudo master push, because they don't have Hibana, and they use Hibana in most of their strats on Oregon when attacking kids to open up the dining window, or excuse me, the dining wall going into kitchen to dislodge that hold where the team just plays the kitchen windows from below, which is very, very effective and probably the most defensive or most effective defensive setup for attacking when defending onto kids. Excuse me. So they still want to take into kitchen, and Necrox is holding the flank, but Young's going to go for it anyway. I'm not quite sure what the idea behind this is. Obviously, Necrox should be able to catch anybody leaving kitchen and trying to get back upstairs from main lobby. But I can't help but think that EG is just wasting a lot of time trying to take control of, wasting too much utility trying to take control of areas of the map that aren't as important.
This setup from EG is beautiful. Necrox has the flank. Joystick can't go anywhere. He doesn't have the ability to set up a rotation. They're definitely going to start clearing out ADSs, and there's the nade.
So they get the kill onto joystick, but but was it worth 2 minutes and 30 seconds? Because you know, like they don't have white stairs cleared, and Shepard still has his smokes. I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of confused as to why smokes aren't coming out.
From Dan, but Karzeka will finish him off. EG's now inside of sight, and Young will just persevere amidst the smoke. He's got the smoke right next to him. He'll waltz in, but no, the shotgun of Shepard.
Yeah, now the smokes are coming out.
With the PMM out of Canadian, and EG will take the first round.
Okay, so EG win that round.
From Evil Geniuses. And the last kill
Just based on good timing and a last-second execute, which sometimes is all you need. Like, we've seen lots of teams execute at the last second and be very successful. Mainly Vitality in EU.
Which makes a lot of sense. Coastline and Oregon tend to be very strong. EG, Consulate less so. And then
So EG bring in the same setup, other than Canadian was on Glaz and now he's on Zofia, just to help with this attack, which I'm still like kind of baffled as to where it's coming from. I don't think anyone's ever really seen EG push like this. Even in the last game on Oregon that they played, they didn't push like this. So, and then the difference here is that instead of bandits being pre-placed on, or actually I don't know if bandits were on the kitchen wall facing dining before, but I think that the bandits come more into play this round. So Necrox takes down Echo, who is most likely just in a weird position. Yeah, he's trying to peek via an Echo drone on the window. That's sort of just a timing thing, because you see Empire's like peeking those kids' windows towards tower all the time.
Two different players on Empire that can run a Capital, and well, one of them happens to be Joystick, who's dead. Necrox with a second kill. It'll be an easy clear. Karzeka on the roam will take out NVK. He's inside a meeting hall, and well, Necrox will fall off of the drone just in case Karzeka decides to wander.
Did Young open the showers wall
towards the pantry, whether it's reinforced or not,
like he did last time?
That EG might not have at their disposal. Necrox gets cut down to size by Shepard, though, likely playing from above, down below.
And yeah, different thermites are coming out from EG, so they're trying to take it in a different fashion. Because I think what the idea was is that NVK is watching the flank, Young opens that wall so that he can watch the flank more effectively. Necrox is watching the dining door that Joystick loves to jump out of, and then they rotate to the kids' windows and push. But they were never actually able to get in position for the execute. So, you know, it kind of all fell apart once NVK got killed as well. That was like the big blow, honestly.
Geo's life really miserable. Young will be eliminated, making it just Geo against 3. He finds 1. He's got to find 2 more. Pushing through the smoke with the goo trap, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Shepard shuts him down, and here we go.
So that didn't work out that time for EG.
Well, second, total, third in the round count. And it's going to be, I think, a very comfortable place for Team Empire. They don't have a mirror window, but of course they're used to that, as they ban mirror pretty much all the time. Looks like Empire is going to be committing to a very heavy west side roam. Utility invested.
This is the same roam that they were using before.
Ready to receive Evil Geniuses on the roam clear. Should it come?
The idea behind this, roam, is that you choke all of the attackers at the top of white stairs, big window, and coming from master, like down that hallway past generator. You choke them all at that spot, trying to kill the guy in kids. And Ella playing inside of kids, because there's only 3 ways to come from. You just throw 1 Ella mine on each, and you just wait, and you just waste as much time as possible. So EG's obviously going to be trying to go for a tower take, as we just keep seeing all these teams doing over and over and over again. What's up, Hunter? How's it going, dude? Hope you're having a good day. So yeah, in case you guys didn't see the other videos that I've done on this, pretty much Oh, here's another point. Okay. So Joystick is playing here with all 3 of his ADSs, and there were 2 on the kid's bedroom doorway, if you recall, earlier in this round. But once they realized it was a tower take, which is just based on default cameras and simple communication as to like what's going on around certain operators, they know that it's a tower take, and so he moves his ADSs to play with him at the top of this ladder. And yeah, my day's been good. Just been kind of awkward. Like I had to do random things throughout the day that I didn't anticipate having to do, but it's good otherwise. So now Joystick is directly trying to prevent the push in through the attic, which the idea isn't to necessarily go through the attic for EG, it's more to just make sure that nobody's going to push from there, but they have to dislodge Joystick to an extent so that he can't directly just challenge whenever he wants, because that's the main threat right now. Otherwise, NVK is watching the flank, Canadian is pushing the hallway with Glaz, Necrox is going to be pushing with him, most likely inside of meeting, and then basically all of the attack comes through blue. Young's rotating right now to go open that wall, which is the main idea here. But this is obviously the setup that EG was trying to go for in the very, very first round that they won, even though they were attacking downstairs. So now Gio's going to open up, and they trade efficiently. Gio knew that was going to happen. He had Canadian ready to get that kill, because Canadian saw that guy on a drone before. So now they're going to pick Gio back up. They've got 40 seconds. NVK gets the kill on the flank, and now they can execute effectively.
You see the castle barricades were set up in expecting this eventuality of the take from Evil Geniuses, but it is not going to be an impediment thanks to the sledge. 25 seconds left. Canadian can still see through those smokes, and he's going to hold on to the hallway. Necrox going for the plant, and he's going to stick it. He's got cover from Geo. Empire doing their best with the gas cannon.
So as you can look at the positioning on the right side of the screen, there really isn't much that Empire can do unless Karzeka wins all of his gunfights, because the plant's going to go down no matter what. You can't push through that smoke with a Glaz in the hallway. There's no telling what he's watching at any given time. So now Scyther and Scyther and Shepard are waiting for Karzeka to maybe get another pick so that they can push and have numbers, but it never happens. And EG are just watching the angles that you saw before on the right side of the screen, where they just have everybody positioned appropriately. Oops, I skipped too far forward. Sorry.
You have Geo removed from the equation. In this case, the down but not out was for Geo a saver, and for EG too, because you had the sledge to be able to open up another castle barricade, frag grenades there, and then another gun just to watch from afar. You get kind of boxed in as the site downstairs in Oregon is a bit claustrophobic.
So now Empire setting up again for the same thing. I see them set up the same way for every single defense, regardless of where it's coming from. So obviously they've fleshed it out enough to the point where it's, you know, as effective as it's going to be. I'm not back on Xbox. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jumpy? I'm not on Xbox. I'm on PC.
I expect a bit more conservative play from him.
Dan has brought the Kaid in an effort to hold on.
But we're actually going to see EG going for a west side clear, which is not typical. And I'm interested to see exactly how it works out.
Now, see, this is where you want to have the West roam, right? If you're Empire, and you do still have it, Karzeka up by dorms. He's going to be a very important force here for his team. Canadian already in kitchen. He does have an opponent above him.
Oh, come back is what you mean. Okay, I thought you were trying to say that I was already back there. I'm like, no, I'm on PC. That'll never happen though. I'm never gonna come back to Xbox.
He's waiting for an opportunity.
PC is my home now, along with the rest of all the people that I play with. I couldn't even shoot with a controller now, if I'm being completely honest.
He takes down NVK. That rotation through attic. Great.
Where was NVK when he died? Oh, he's on the roof. He peeks him from the roof. Yeah. But yeah, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So they're having serious trouble actually dislodging Karzeka. And Joystick is playing in the attic. Joystick's playing in the attic, she's supposed to be covering the kid's windows, but he killed NVK and he's like, okay, someone else has got to be watching this. I'm not going to win that fight twice. So Joystick backs off. But Karzeka's just hiding inside of kids. And the attackers aren't going to push through the Elamine, so they want to get him from the windows, but they're wasting so much time trying to kill him that the back push that they did the last round is just more effective. But they want to keep Empire on their toes, so that's why they're attacking this way, but this is why you primarily see back pushes coming out from all teams on Oregon now.
Affect Karzeka whatsoever. Gio's in a major predicament now, though, because he's going to play this repel. And
like, even if Karzeka was to die right now, it wouldn't be that big a deal. Because they've wasted so much time and utility. And now look what's happening. Now EG, after losing 2 bodies, are just reverting back into a back push. This is actually a really good call, and I remember this round specifically because I'm pretty sure EG just push into the site and kill everyone. So this is definitely the right call. So Young kills one at a back tower, and now Necrox is running down the stairs at the perfect timing. So the timing of this and the coordination from EG to win this round is astounding. This is probably one of the best played rounds of the tournament. Besides one of the rounds from DZ on Bank versus Empire. One of those rounds was really well played too. But that was, personally, I think that was the best played round of the tournament. Yeah, Hunter, I'm probably going to play TTS after I get done with this. I'm honestly kind of reluctant to even do analysis of the last map on Clubhouse because it was such a slaughter that there really isn't much to analyze, and any analysis that I would be looking at for that is you can already see it when Empire dismantled Fnatic on the same map. Yeah, Hunter, you can join on the TTS. I'll play with anybody on the TTS. Like, it's just TTS. Also, I don't think the TTS plays as well as the main game, but that's a given, honestly. So yeah, when I'm done with this, let me finish with this. This right here. I'll take a little bit of a break. I won't turn off the stream, but I'll be gone for like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And then after the analysis is over, I'll change my title, load up the TTS, and we can play. Yeah, I played it a little bit today, but then I streamed a little bit on it earlier today, but I actually had to leave oh my god, I'm stumbling over my words. I had to leave prematurely because I just, had other things that I needed to do randomly. Especially if you're an EG fan. Just in general, if you're a fan of Siege. What's up, Jag? How's it going? Definitely a super team. So, like I said, back tower push. Necrox watching this door. That is the strat. It doesn't get any more complicated than that, and it doesn't get, you practically don't see anything else. What I'm really waiting for is to see when EG goes on defense so I can explain to you guys like what they were trying to do and the idea behind it and why it failed so hard. Yeah. Sometimes real life just gets in the way, Hunter. You just gotta, look at real life and say, bitch, I'm gonna play fucking video games all day. That doesn't actually work ever. However, Dan will probably put another trap there. Just good efficiency from the IQ.
Nomad being brought as well from Evil Genius.
The back tower take. Over and over and over again, we see it, you know, almost every single attack. I'd like to see a ratio in terms of for the whole tournament, not just this match, for the whole tournament. When it comes to Oregon, how many of the rounds were back tower takes by the attack, regardless of where the defenders were defending?
There's more information that's going to be put out for the rest of his team as he just watches those two windows, and that's wow. A push that's going to happen maybe. It looked like
but yeah,
was priming himself.
they have a Nomad watching their flank, and now they just need to dislodge the operators inside of. They need to dislodge the operators inside of Kids, which they just did, and I'm not sure why Empire has so many bodies upstairs. They all just need to go down. They all just need to go downstairs, honestly, and watch from below. But they choose not to. The only person that needs to be up there really is Smoke.
There goes Dan. Empire are falling apart right now. Evil Genius is looking to put it in a 4-1. They have 40 seconds to execute on 2 defenders. There is still, well, actually no, there is no C4 in the hand of the Bandit. Shepard's gonna take down Canadian, so here we go. Empire fighting back. Young's gonna get that plant though, just in sight.
Like,
That's by door.
if Empire plays downstairs using the kill holes that they already have established to prevent the window jump in, repel in, excuse me, then they have a much better chance. But instead, they're exposing themselves to all these different angles that EG put for them.
Such a detriment in this situation. Mark's coming out clearly based on that pre-fire through the floor, but no dice, and it's going to be a shutdown there by Necrox. Empire down 4-1 on.
All right.
Last time around when we saw this laundry take was when Geo decided to run down through construction, open up the wall, then push on in. There's still a castle in play for Empire, and I think you can just
downstairs site.
Ask how good that castle has actually been for the overall
Thatcher to get rid of the Cade.
They might not have a lot.
And by the way, that Cade is Cade triggering 4 walls, not just 2, which is actually
I think the castle has been okay,
really good use of the utility.
But it's Geo on the sledge that's been countering it so well. Like, I understand why Empire's bringing the castle. I agree with you, it's not working. But again, that just, to me, comes down to Geo to using his hammer well.
Joystick going once again in the same position over by the master.
I like this part because you see Geo's like, what? There's 3 ADSs here. Like, you know, like that kind of stuff is funny. NVK could use a Thatcher to get rid of those because they're not going to stop anything coming near the sandbags unless it tries to come over it. But they need that utility for the plant, so he's not going to use it, obviously.
Would be very efficient, but they might be saving it for something else entirely. Dan's going to take down Geo.
Oh, he only has 1 Thatcher left, so yeah, he's definitely not going to use it until the plant.
Being opened up by the exothermic charge, he wins his fight, standing firm.
This means that any push that might also happen down into the soft walls over by Laundry.
Yeah, I remember this round. Dan just wins every engagement he gets into. Greatest Cade player of all time.
But he'll be finished off as he's fallen but not completed. Necrox and Canadian now to push.
Necrox is so far removed from the attack. Unlucky. That's a really good position for Joystick to play.
Shot from Canadian onto sight there. Dan is still downed, and well, it's a 1v5 that's turned into a 1v4. You have to be quite precise here. Canadian will edge on up 40 seconds. He doesn't have a ton of time. He expects Joystick to be playing around this position, and he'll be finished off.
Yeah.
Empire will be able to regain some hope of keeping this map close, and they'll head on into their defense. Maestro,
all right, so first defensive round for EG. They're defending downstairs. And let's see if Empire attack from the back as well, because I'm pretty sure they do. I don't think it ever changes. Yeah. Dan is just, he had that 1 round on Bank with Cade, and then that one, like, he's just the best Cade.
Necrox is actually playing the pixel angle on the tower. This is, okay, so usually as an attacker you can cut off rotation through tower by looking through this, but if Necrox plays it aggressively, he will get the advantage, and he does have it. He's going to miss a lot of his shots. Karzeka, though, eats 1 bullet.
It's very risky.
Well aware that Empire always pushes from tower. Everybody knows that. You as a casual viewer can determine that if you watch a couple matches of Oregon of Empire.
All right, so Intero answered our question for us. They push from tower every time.
Force Empire to waste some utility in the process, but
Push from tower every time. Everybody knows it. Okay, perfect.
as you had mentioned, from
Now that everybody and their mother knows it,
they're going to just completely go over. They will run back to the defense, or the hold that they have on the defense downstairs, and allow Empire to drone out meeting hall. And then
so let's see what's a little different from Empire versus EG. The first difference is obviously the Hibana versus Thermite.
Just in this tournament too, it does seem like Empire are.
I just used the Infamy Discord Hunter.
Ever so slightly, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
So Joystick is just setting up his nomads to help his teammates watch the flank. So he's going to put down his nomads and then push. Because Joystick doesn't watch flank, he pushes.
I mean, it's not always a bad idea to fall off too.
Yeah.
If you know that
But this is a pretty good setup by EG, actually.
maybe waste some time, even
You know, one in blue, one inside of
altercation. Now,
Harry Potter underneath tower.
What is called blue or tarps. Scyther had droned out Young. He loses the drone in the process, but then
One watching main stairs, one watching hallway behind a shield.
To his detriment, will not be able to run out as
There's no Mira, so can't have a Mira there.
And what a nice shot on the Canadian.
Oh, wow.
As that wall
That was
open.
great.
I don't
Why
if
didn't
he
Canadian
was
know
aware
that that
of
was open
He
behind
had
him?
been spotted and seen, and there's another one that's going to go, and it's Young,
no.
and it's Joystick there, and Empire.
Yeah.
Absolutely firing up the war machine at this point.
That was the best thing they could have done. If they don't have control of meeting, they have to reinforce those walls that got opened up. And that was actually just a great heads up play by Dan.
Then we would see Young still holding blue.
No, they did not fix Clash on TTS. That's why I've been banning her in ranked.
You can play a farther angle if you need to. Necroc sitting by that wash basin with an ACOG on his own and a deployable shield there to possibly take and attract some bullets. With Geo playing the much closer angle. And all of Empire will push from the tower, unsurprisingly.
Floating C4, that's cool.
Necrox is there just waiting for somebody to greet him, but nobody is taking the fight for the time being.
So with 20 seconds left, EG could still win based on the yokai drones, but I think they're just getting destroyed.
Down goes Hibana, and EG will take 2 kills, but Geo falls, and he'll be finished off by Karzeka. Successful diffuser will go down from Empire in their very first round.
Retaking here is so difficult too. But Karzeka just threw his life away, so that changes things.
And they'll just sit and wait and try to watch that diffuser as NBK will move on up very, very patiently. The IQ gets spotted in Scyther.
Unlucky.
2 massive kills. You need that. If you're Empire, you'll close the gap.
Yeah, you just ban Clash and you don't even have to worry about it. That's a good thing about pick and ban in ranked now, is that if there's like an operator that has a glitch that people are exploiting, you can just ban that operator. Because you know every YouTuber and their mother are like, hey, check out this glitch. I'm just trying to let Ubisoft know for the views. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just being a dick. You're fucking everyone over. Thanks a lot, asshole. Yeah, I'm just, I'm not doing it for the views. Just trying to, show Ubisoft that their game's broken. It's like, no, you're not. You're definitely doing it for the views. So who could have guessed another tower take, Nomad being brought? I bet you if EG would have banned Nomad, I think they would have won this game.
Does manage to take out to deny a crouch hole, so that's pretty good from Canadian.
And that's huge because there's only one set of XK rows left. It's a soft wall. You know that if you put them down, well, there's going to be a problem. And you can shoot away at the wood, but if the studs still remain, you won't be able to crawl.
It doesn't matter if they can't crouch through the Hibana because he's just going to open another hole and lay down through it. And then on top of that, they just need that open to watch the flank. They don't want it open to they don't want it open to push it. They want it open to watch the flank, which is what Dan's doing.
That's not what he's going to do for the time being. He's going to try and figure out if there's anybody playing inside of dorms.
Heavy emphasis being placed here on dorms from the Empire.
So MVK takes down Joystick. Oh. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Scream into your mic.
Scyther does shut down MVK, but it's damage done.
This is the point of the match where I honestly...
They call it a highway, and NVK was cruising Michael on that one.
Yeah.
incredible effort, and Empire allow them this opportunity to get back
Yeah,
into
Hunter.
the game, though. 2 kills. They'll finish off NVK.
This is honestly, this right here is right there when MVK got that. That's where I thought that EG won the match.
A beautiful shot. And where is Dan as he might expose himself? He'll find it, but they trade it off. EG will take that round.
Like I thought that EG won the match right here. After this round, I was like, oh, that's it. Like it's over.
Indecisive as to what he's trying to accomplish here, but he's playing on the tower stairs, waiting for an engagement.
I just love how like this entire match, once it got to this point, was just battle of who could run out and kill as many people as they could with Jaeger better than the other team. Like who could do it?
I don't know what the IQ was attempting. Oh, there you go, inside of bunker. Just pushing on in, but Young was in this exact position before.
Right, he had to have known this was going to happen.
Oof, what a
Scyther
shot.
with pre-fire, but he loses the fight anyway. Canadian is still playing that position we saw to cover.
But yeah, just like
well, flank.
the back push over and over and over again from Empire. You know,
Evil Geniuses now.
like it's just same thing over and over and over again.
All of the electronics, he got the yokais as well, and then was the one to collect the final 2 kills on this push last
I think that Dan opened up the same hole that he made before. No, he didn't. I wonder what's preventing him from doing it. Oh, he is going to do it now. So now let's see what happens. Let's see if... Oh, there's a mute jammer there. That is huge. That's a huge change. Yeah, Hunter, I think the Ubisoft support squad is actually pretty good. So yeah, that mute jammer there, and for some reason Shepard's Thatcher didn't go off and get it, like, that's a big problem. Yeah, they don't have a plan now, other than they just have to push.
And EG knows that this is what they have to do. If EG chooses to peek this, then the disarray that we currently see Empire in will be dove upon. And 2 huge kills from Evil Geniuses, as Empire will now decide to take to the back stairs. Canadian and Harry Potter, and he's working with some magic as he finds yet another the down on Karzeka, but they'll know that he'll have to be picked back up.
Yeah, it's easy W for this round.
30 seconds left, and 4 members of EG with the dock still on the board. You have to drop through this hatch, and it might be to your undoing. A drone will go out as there's still some precious time.
I love this rotation from Shepard because he rotates all the way around the map and then goes back into meeting and drops the hatch.
If Karzeka drops and misses his shots, then it will put it all on the shoulders of Shepard, who now goes over towards the meeting hall. Shotgun out! Oh, Young will pick one up. Shepard turns around. His position noted. 2 kills, 5 seconds. He needs to get that diffuser down. He'll be incredibly vulnerable. And it'll be the Yokai drone and Nathan Valenti who will push EG to match point.
All right, so right here. This is where EG completely fall apart. Oh, no, it's not this round. It's the next one. It's the next one. This is just a tower take. This is just Empire attacking a site that's easier to attack than the others.
Looking for a rotation on the main stairs. Canadian knows he's been droned out. He knows his position's been given away, but he's relying on the... Oh, no! Young! Gets a free pick.
Yeah, see, like, I said this before. Hold on, let me pause that.
Sledge, the grenades are gone.
Every time, okay, so every time that I've done analyst stuff on Oregon when Empire is attacking, someone always kills somebody from that window that Young was laying underneath, and Shepard always refrags them by shooting down the closed window. Why not just open it first and save your teammate's life? Like, I'm pretty sure it happens like 3 times during the entire event. Like, that's just the question to me, is like, why isn't the window already open if you're just gonna kill the guy there no matter what?
One of those air jabs is given away, but he manages to get back in. He gets knocked over, but still can get back in. But still, the sound will.
Yeah, he wants the kills. Instead of the money, he wants the kills. Even though he wins the money anyway.
Canadian's taking a lot of fire here, but he's already wasted a bunch of time. He goes for the pre-fire and cannot land the shots. Joystick shuts down Canadian, and that's T3 control for Empire. So crucial on a tower defense. They're not going to repel in immediately, though. Necrox is in T2 trying to contest.
How did Necrox not kill that guy? Or how did NVK not kill that guy? Was that not a headshot?
MVK, a run out, but ill-advised. Scyther shuts down Necrox, and it looks like Team Empire have control of T3. MVK trying to fight back, though, from T2, and he'll be shut down as well. It's just Geo. C4 goes out in vain, but it will find one. As the attempted vault from Dan puts him just too high, and he catches that.
Once the attack has T3, it's over. Like, they can't do anything once they have T3.
By Scyther, and Team Empire
Yeah,
keep
Hunter.
themselves in this match.
That's got to be it. Yep, all for that drop of clout. All right, so let's talk about what happens here.
And they'll go to the dorm side. Just like clockwork, Empire will once again take control of tower. And for EG, there's nobody nearby.
It's the same setup every time from Empire. And EG know it. So they have extra bodies playing off-site, and their idea is to run out and retake tower. They just want to retake the tower. That's the main point. That is the purpose.
Are proving themselves again anew, being one of the most, I'd say, prestigious teams in all of Pro League. One of the longest.
So they're gonna set up. So then Joystick sets up his air jabs. They open up the attic to watch the flank, and now they have a Nomad there this time. And Necrox gets the first kill into Karzeka and jumps out and gets 2, right? So now, okay. At that point, what's happening is Canadian, Young, and Geo are trying to retake, or excuse me, Canadian and Geo and NVK are trying to retake the tower. So Necrox gets the first kill. NVK is traded by Dan as he's trying to flank, right? Necrox jumps out and kills Joystick. Scyther kills Necrox, and Geo, who's also flanking the tower, kills Dan. So now EG have control of the tower, and the kids' windows are clear, but Scyther and Shepard are safe. They're fine. They don't need to worry about anything right now.
90 seconds in, and EG going for broke here.
So right here, I'm honestly thinking that EG's won it. Like in my mind, they have won this completely. And I can't believe that Empire's actually able to recover from this, especially when Geo has a C4. Geo has a C4 and there's a minute left. Like, obviously, pre-placing the C4 was a problem. They shouldn't have pre-placed it. They should have just waited. But all EG has to do here is wait. This is like, honestly, this is probably the biggest throw in terms of a match by any team in the history of Rainbow Six. Like, this is the throw of the century, especially like Young, like peeking and shooting like that, Canadian peeking and shooting like that. There's 30 seconds left. Just sit there. You know where they both are. Just sit there and wait.
Watch that big window, and here comes the tension. Here comes the push. Down on white stairs, waiting for the vault on in is Canadian. Will he be able to secure the kill? He sees the tracers. Oh, no.
And he gets up and dies. Geo's trying to wait. Geo's been trying to do the right thing the entire time, and Young and Canadian are just peeking everything. Yeah, Geo potatoes here and loses that fight, and Young retrades it, which is good. But like, there is just it should be unwinnable for Empire, and they win it. And then this is the problem now. So let's skip forward. This is the problem now. So because here, hold on a second. Let me move back a little bit. I didn't mean to go that far. So because EG's plan worked, whether you want to like be like, oh my god, what were they doing that round? their plan worked. They retook the tower and killed the entire attack, putting themselves in a 3v2. So now NVK tries to run out again and dies. And I'm pretty sure Necrox jumps out again and gets 2 kills. So let's wait for that.
You got to imagine that NVK should have known that there would be somebody there watching. It might be a mistake that proves to be fatal in this round, and overtime would likely go in favor, or bode well, rather, for the chances of Empire, who would have gained full momentum. We'll need 3 rounds in a row in order to push this one on in. Necrox still doing his best work to try and get Karzeka off of the...
So basically, EG at this point are scrambling, trying to figure out what to do, and Necrox gets 2 kills again, and it's traded again by Geo back into a 2v2, but Canadian's still trying to flank the tower, but this time he's flanking it by himself. And now, Geo in a winnable 2v1. He has to rely on his teammates' callouts, so he knows one's going to be outside of big window, and the other one is somewhere still outside. And I guarantee you, I absolutely guarantee you, that Geo was hearing Dan coming up the stairs behind him, but his teammates are giving him callouts that are conflicting with what he's saying, and he's believing his teammates over than what he's actually, like, listening to. Like, this was just an all-around ridiculous situation. Like, I just don't see how EG just don't sit tight and wait. Like, play the angles from below. And you're like their plan to retake is working. Like, their plan to retake and, like, kill these guys off these windows and retake the tower, it worked the first time. It didn't work that time, but they were still in a favorable position because, you know, Geo in the 2v1, one guy's weak. Like, it still is effective. And so now, look at this. Now you have NVK running out of highway, and I don't understand how Canadian doesn't kill Cart. I don't understand how Dan doesn't die. But now that NVK and Canadian are dead, Geo has to rotate back. And they could have retaken the tower that time and had it completely, but now they're really screwed. Like, that was, it's so frustrating to watch again. Like, when I watched this live, I was getting so frustrated because their timing wasn't good, and Necrox can't just keep jumping out. Like, it's it's so frustrating to watch again. Like, I'm not gonna do analysis of the third map because it's so frustrating. What's that, baby? Yeah, right after this. So now, EG on attack, they're bringing the same operators they had before, like plus Ashe instead of Zofia, I think. But their confidence is so wrecked because they definitely thought that they had the round in the bag. And you can tell by the way that they're playing that they're shook. They're absolutely shook. They don't know what to do. And they have to try to get back into the mode that, like, they were just in a mindset that the match is over, that they've won. And then 6 minutes later, they're not. And they're losing. Like, this was probably the most frustrating game to watch live I've ever seen because of what happened here. This was just so demoralizing, especially when they have it in the bag. Like, when they're up on that match point, they have it in the bag. They have it won, and it's all gone 6 minutes later. And now they're down, and they have to try to regain their composure, which is hard to do in a situation like this when so much is on the line. But it's the same attack over and over and over again. You know, from the tower, regardless of which team is doing it. The same positions are being done. And I'm pretty sure Joystick does end up getting a run out this round and winning. Like, he wins his gunfights this round, if I'm not mistaken. But Joystick just has to wait for the right time to go out.
Shepard doesn't even take a single point of damage there as now Canadian is moving
And
over to West
Empire
Wing.
has readjusted their strat to where there's
Shepard is
3
under
people
fire from two
downstairs
separate angles. The
and
threat
2
will take
upstairs
quite a
instead
bit
of 3
damage
people up
into
and
Shepard.
2
And
down.
there you go. Karzeka finds Young and Empire.
So Karzeka gets the
looking for
first
round
one.
number 5 in a row. This is one of the best
And
comebacks
now
that we have
Necrox
seen,
is trying to
given
apply
the
pressure
adversity,
onto
given the
Joystick because he
pressure,
kind of
given
knows where he is. Like, that's
everything that's on
Necrox's
the
job
line
is to
for
find
Empire, at least for the
Joystick.
time being.
But
And they are in the driver's
Joystick just has
seat
too many
rightfully.
options
No
available to him, and
destruction from EG
Necrox
as
doesn't
well.
have enough utility
Necrox, who had been
to
on
stop
flight
it.
watch so long, will need to wander on in. It was
So,
his job to find
you know, Joystick gets the
Able to
one
do
at the big
it. And he's able
window.
to find Dan, but Karzeka
NVK can
finds
trade,
NVK.
but Karzeka
finds
is just
Geo as well. And
there
Necrox, who's been a
to kill
standout
everybody.
in this matchup,
So,
now need to walk up.
you know,
Hideyaguma in his position, given
they
away.
lose this map, and then that's pretty much it. Like, Clubhouse is a wash. Like, Clubhouse is a wash of a map. So I'm not going to do analysis of it because it's the exact same thing that happened to Fnatic. But, God, EG, I feel so bad for them. They really did, like, they had it in the bag. And then, poof, just like that, it's all gone.
A beautiful comeback from Empire. All credit to them. But Evil Geniuses were their own worst enemy in the second half of that map.
Oh, it's just crazy because all Empire does once they get the man advantage is they know that they have the mindset for the win. EG starts playing less organized because they're just not thinking clearly, and Empire capitalize on it by just playing the most effective defensive setup that is tried and true, proven to be the most effective defensive setup when defending kids. It's crazy. Okay. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in for this analysis stream. I'm going to be restarting the stream in, like, I don't know, like maybe 30 minutes or so. Yeah, Hunter, I'm gonna try to get on TTS. I actually might not, depending on what my girlfriend wants to do. So we'll just play it by ear. I might get on and turn the stream back on later to do some TTS ranked. I might not. We'll see. But, you know, have a good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.